Hello everyone, welcome back to a new video. Today I'm making a fantasy lightbox for another craft challenge. So a few months ago I joined a craft challenge from this channel Boylai Hobby Time, who makes super cool dioramas and projects, and that was super fun to do, so I thought I'd join in every month. And this month's prompt was natural wonders, so let's just jump right into it. I was really excited for this challenge because there are a ton of absolutely gorgeous places on Earth that I could use for my inspiration. So I found a few places that I thought could be interesting to use, and I put up a poll to see what people think, and it turned out that everything was pretty equal. So I decided to use elements from all three of these in the lightbox. And here's a sketch that I came up with, and unfortunately my camera didn't record the sketching part, but here it is how it turned out, so yeah. I tried to mix the cliffs, redwoods, and the baobab tree in a way that works, and I decided to do a little fun challenge with it as well, which I'll get into later. So starting right off, I got to work on the main focal point, the baobab tree on the cliff. And I'll admit it doesn't really look like a baobab tree. I think I should have made it more upturned because it looks too much like a normal tree, and I didn't make the trunk fat enough, but whatever. I tried making up for it with the branches. I don't think it worked very well, but you tell me. And I always thought baobab trees look so cool. Like, they have such a unique and goofy look to them. Like, to me, it always seemed like there could be an isolated little habitat on the top with some like magical creatures or something, but you know, that's just my imagination. I just like how all the little branches are at the very top and then the trunk is just like nothing. I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, then I just moved on to the sprawling forest, and for this part, I took inspiration from the redwood forests. For the layers, I wanted a lot of light to shine through the trees, so I made one big canopy of leaves with sticks coming out under for the trunks instead of each individual tree. For this front layer, I made sure everything looked really sharp, and I added details like vines and little branches because this will be the front layer of trees, so it has to look good. And I love the redwoods, like they feel so magical and mysterious. Like for me, the thing that makes like fantasy worlds so cool is when you have giant plants and animals or really tiny things, because then it's out of the ordinary and therefore it's cool and unique and magical. And that's how I feel about the redwoods. They're so tall and, you know, it's almost intimidating because you feel like, oh, I'm so tiny compared to everything, you know? So I think that's really cool. And I wanted to try and capture that same like intimidating feeling with this light box. I wanted to feel like these trees were super tall by not showing the ground anywhere in the light box. So it adds kind of a mysterious feel, you know, like, oh, these trees, like the forest extends below where the light box shows. So I just kept going with more and more trees. I added a layer of smaller trees in front of the main cliff to make it blend in more and seem more cohesive. I made sure to leave lots of space between the trees so it would kind of look like a clearing around the cliff. So after a couple layers, I move on to the plane in the foreground. My plan for this lightbox was to have a plane in the foreground because I wanted to go for like an adventurous feel, like this plane would be dropping off tourists or like just some explorers in the jungle to like find the like lost treasure, something like that. So I tried playing around with the plane a little, and this is what I ended up with, but I don't really like it that much, so I'll go in later and I change it, so yeah. I also thought it would be fun to add a couple little hidden secret animals in this light box that, you have to find, so stay tuned for that later. I'll talk about it more. And for the rest of the forest, I used the same technique as the first layer, leaving lots of gaps so the light can pass through. I also start sprinkling in the cliffs here and there in between the trees. And these cliffs were my favorite option out of the three. I just like how vertical and steep they are. Like, it amazes me how the earth can create such like crazy things. And I can just imagine climbing these cliffs and how scary and cool that would feel. So yeah, I just kept going with the layers, adding more trees and cliffs. Then I go back to the plane and just change the angle and add details. I add dark parts for the stripes and I cut out the windows. And once I was happy with that, I started adding details to the environment. I cut little slits on the treetops, which is a pretty reliable technique for making things look like foliage, and I just went and did that to all the treetops. Then I drew all the details on the cliffs that will be like shading, and I did the same for the tree trunks. Then I cut them out and glued them wherever it looked right. And cutting some slits onto the cliffs also added a little more oomph to the overall feel and more details. I wanted to draw more attention to the main tree, so I made some little birds to fly around the tree and draw your eye in and make that tree look important. I also wanted the environment to seem very lively, so this helped with that. And now onto the fun part. I created these three little creatures, a snake, a bird, and a lizard, and these three will be hidden somewhere in the completed lightbox, so stay tuned till the end and try to find them all, because why not? But yeah, now it's time to assemble the lightbox. I cut out the foam board strips for the spacers and got to assembling. Once I was done assembling, here it is done. I'm really happy with how this turned out. I really enjoyed making it. It was super fun, and I also like the color. I was kind of going for green and yellow, but the camera didn't pick it up very well, so it looks very orangey yellow, but which is fine. It looks still good, and I like it a lot. The plane is a little out of place, but I don't think it's that bad. And yeah, let me know what you think. Tell me if you found all the little creatures, and comment below if you'd like to see anything new or anything at all, any ideas for videos. And thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!